Hey, this is Joe for njsforever.com. Just kicking it with Jeff Saunders from Intro. Just, whereabouts are we? We're at 48th and Madison. Just driving to the Bronx. Mr. Jeff Saunders.
What's up, what's up? I don't have eyes in the back of my head, but y'all can understand what I'm saying right now. I was just talking to you about, you know, how the group pretty much formed together. I pretty much had a group back in the day, and, you know, the focus wasn't really there, so I met Buddy. When I met Buddy, you know, everything clicked. Buddy told me about Kenny. Kenny was in the military with Buddy. They was in the military for about that many hours or so. So Kenny, I heard him over the phone. I said, dude, you need to get to New York. He got to New York, and we rehearsed every day for about 4 months, non-stop. I mean, to the point where you're shaking from hunger. Just, you know, we just put that many hours in every day. We didn't have any demos, no producers we were working with at the time, and our deal was basically off the strength of Heavy D. I went to a club. I was the party guy, and I told Kenny and Buddy about this club called the Red Zone that Puff, P. Diddy, aka P. Diddy, and Jessica Rosenbaum used to actually do a party together, and it was a spot called the Red Zone. I had VIP access, so we went in. We went upstairs to VIP, and I seen Andre Harrell, and I saw Heavy D at the bar. What a coincidence! So I didn't really think about going over to MCA, you know, Uptown MCA. I just wanted someone to hear us. The music is playing all over the place. I stepped to Heavy D. I said, "Hey man, I want you to hear us." Heavy D was like, "You want me to hear you, huh?" And so if y'all that good, sing right now. I said, "Why don't you come in the bathroom so you can hear us?" He was like, "Well, I want y'all to sing right now over this music." So we just started singing a song over the music, and Heavy D was like, "Yo, y'all guys is hot. Matter of fact, give me your number, I'm gonna call you." Of course, we did the whole, he's not gonna call us. Buddy was still in the military at the time. We took a trip down to Fort Bragg, continuing to rehearse because Buddy had to be down there. We got down there, got a phone call from my mom. Some guy named Hefty called you? I say, Hefty? She said, I don't know his name. Hefty something, Hefty B? I said, Heavy D? I was like, oh, shoot, for real? Yeah, she said.
Yeah, I can see how she would come up with Hefty B.
Yeah, she didn't, you know, my mom. She never,
sounds the same.
Yeah. So when she said that, I called her back right away. The first thing Hev said was, yo, I need to get y'all back up here. What are y'all doing? I said, we'll be right there. Buddy went AWOL. Buddy went AWOL to make this trip. So we jumped in the white Jetta Buddy had, drove all the way back to New York, non-stop.
From? Where were you?
From Charlotte, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Well, that's some trek.
Kenny wasn't no longer in the military. I wasn't never in the military, so we went down there only because Buddy had to work. And after work, we would rehearse.
Right.
So we just jumped in the car. We drove 10 hours back to New York, non-stop. We got to New York around 7 in the evening. And we got to Eddie F's office because Heavy D said, I want y'all to hook up with my boy Eddie F. He got something going on. We never met Eddie F before. Never saw him in the clubs, never met him. We got there, Eddie F just moved into his new office on 46th Street and between 6th and 7th. We get there, Eddie F didn't even want to hear us sing yet. He just wanted us to help him move in the office. We become movers instead of singers. So we've been, you know, we started moving things in the office. It's around 10 o'clock at night. He said, okay, let me see what I got. We started singing, and then he started dialing phone numbers. Like, I need y'all to hear these guys. He started dialing numbers like crazy. And we killed him on that. I guess he just put us through the little hard work first, and then after that, it was on. We was in the studio probably the next week with Eddie F. In the studio with Eddie F, and the first song we recorded was Love Thing. We recorded that song in like 2 hours.
You did Love Thing in 2 hours?
Like 2 hours. Done. Completed. Rough mix. He put it on white label. It was on radio the next week. On radio the next week. So here I am on the club line, trying to get in the club, and you hear people talk about, yo, you heard about this new group Intro? These guys is hot. I'm on the line like, damn, they're talking about us. Like, man. So it started growing from there, and the buzz started getting out there. Mary J. Blige ended up hearing about us. And we was in the studio with Eddie F, Mary J. Blige, and P. Diddy, a.k.a., you know, Puffy, whatever. Came by the studio. Mary heard some stuff that we recorded already. We recorded Reminisce, Love No Limit, and My Love. When Mary heard that, she went crazy. It's like, you gotta give me those songs. And those was like some of the greatest songs we ever recorded.
Yeah, because I heard that you guys had cut the tracks as intro tracks?
Yeah, it was intro tracks first.
So, what were you guys thinking giving that stuff to Mary?
Well,
was there something wrong in your heads or something?
No.
Or what was
I think it was a good move though, because we used that as a leverage for ourselves to get our name out there. No one knew who we were. We didn't really have a hit song out there. Mary already had, I think, a single that was buzzing.
Real Love.
Real Love.
Yeah.
And we was like, yo, we can always make more songs. Why hold on to it? So we talked about it, we gave it to her, and don't get me wrong, she did a great job. Our version was hot too.
Because I heard there's a song you guys did as intro 3 years before your first album dropped, which was Under Your Spell. It's kind of a house track.
Well, that was before. No. Here's the deal. Let me give you the story with that. It wasn't even intro at the time. It was Kenny and Buddy that recorded a song with some Russian producer in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Kenny and Buddy were in the military at the time, and they recorded with some Russian guy in Brooklyn. He ended up owning them. Let me give you a real story about this. He ended up owning the rights to them somehow, some crazy contract. The only way they could get out of the contract is if he released them. We came up with a story, and they had to act like they were on crack. We pulled up by the studio, put dirt all over the clothes, and like, yo, I don't want to sing no more. That's what they was telling the story. I don't want to sing anymore. I got this drug habit. I just forget about it. He ended up releasing them right then and there. I swear to God. What was his name? Buddy knows the name. It's a Russian guy. And he had them, but Take Me Under Your Spell was a house track. And that was the first song I heard from the demo that Kenny and Buddy ever had. And don't get me wrong, house music is cool, but it's not me. I'm hip hop. When I said this is what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna sing hip hop. What do you mean? It's no such thing. So
was it your idea to say let's go down the R&B route rather than the dance music?
I wasn't singing house music for nobody. That wasn't my thing. No, I'm from hip hop. I'm from the hip hop era. I mean, hard beats, gritty beats, just nice hooks and stuff like that. And it was like not like they weren't from that era as well, but they were dealing with this producer that released songs in Europe.
Yeah.
So whatever they did was what they did, but I refused to sing house music. I said, this is not what I want to do. I said, we need to do something that nobody's doing, and we need to sing on top of some hip-hop beats. Nobody did it. But somebody got a wind of what we were doing. I'm not going to say their name, a famous group as well, that came out a little bit before us, and they ended up hearing what we were doing. They started remixing a couple of the songs, and I'm not going to say the song either, because I don't want to give that up. But everybody knew that we were the first ones to sing on top of some raw hip-hop beats. Puff knew it. He was right there and saw when we did it. Eddie F, he's the mastermind of that. He came up with the idea, to be honest. Eddie F threw the beats down and like, yo, this is what I want y'all to do. We thought it was a great idea. Nobody ever did it. New Jack Swing beats with Teddy Riley was totally different from what we were doing. We was actually singing on stuff that the rappers did before we sung on them.
Yeah.
So